Welcome to the Fishbowl Radio, everybody. My name is Chief here, and with me, as always, is Mike Honcho. And Juicy's not on the show today. I think he's MIA. Don't you agree, Mike?
I think he is MIA. Hopefully he's just MIA because he's at work or something. Hopefully he's not MIA because he's in a sewer somewhere, tied to a pipe, whatever, for a ransom. I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not either. I think that would be kind of a bad thing for us, but it might be a good thing as well. Haha.
Yeah, just got to throw out the worst case scenario. Well, I don't think that's the worst case scenario, but just got to throw out one of those scenarios.
Yeah. So, this is the biggest game of the year. If you're a college football fan, you might even think this is bigger than the Super Bowl if you're a college football fan, if you really love the sport that much, but...
Well, I can agree with you on that to a certain degree, as if it's your favorite team in the national championship.
Yes.
Then it's bigger. Then it's possibly well, this year I don't know. With the Super Bowl being Super Bowl 50, I'm a little shaky on that one. But yeah, it's kind of your biggest thing because it's huge.
Yeah, it'll be a very interesting game between the Clemson Tigers of the
Raging Cajuns and Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yeah. You all Lafayette Raging Cajuns made the national championship this year. Just kidding.
Yep, just kidding.
Yeah.
Crimson Tigers.
Yeah, the Clemson Tigers versus Alabama Crimson Tide. Clemson, is from the ACC conference. Alabama's from the SEC conference. Mike, were you surprised at how the semifinals got played out with Oklahoma and Clemson and Michigan State and Alabama?
I was kind of surprised to a certain point. I mean, I kind of did pick Oklahoma to win, and of course I'm wrong. I did pick Alabama to win. Although the way it happened was, I thought the Alabama-Michigan State game might have been a little bit closer than it was, but it wasn't. And I really thought Oklahoma and Clemson would have just had a slobber knocker, and it was, but Clemson just kind of knocked out Oklahoma. So, I mean, it did surprise me, because I really didn't think they were both going to be blowout games. I really thought they were going to be close games, but we found out what teams are the best.
Yeah, that's how we have this playoff set up, for that very reason, to find out who's the true champion of college football accordingly there.
Yeah. So just think, they might have chose Oklahoma to face Alabama, and Oklahoma sure enough wasn't the best team, or they might have said Michigan State and Alabama, and Michigan State sure enough wasn't the best team, or Clemson. I mean, either way, it wouldn't have been the best case scenario.
Yep. Excuse me. But, I'm dealing with a little bit of a cold, so...
I'll tell you.
Yeah, the allergy season. I'll tell you what, if we had did this show 3 or 4 days ago, I wouldn't be able to speak, bro.
Well, I mean, I'm starting to get a bad throat infection, so I'm kind of getting there.
Yeah, it's not fun to look at. Oh man, when I got that, I felt weak. Man, I was trying to get up. It was just rough. Oof. But I feel like I'm getting better now, and I mean, I'm thinking about 70, 80%. I can still feel it dripping in my throat, but it's I think everybody's kind of doing that down here though for this time of year. It's because we have that hot weather, then that cold weather, then whenever it gets back hot again, like today ain't really hot, but it's not as cold as it was last couple of days.
It's not really hot, it's still cold. And then it's just Louisiana's weather, because it's supposed to be 28 degrees Sunday, and it's like,
well, we're going to get destroyed here, Yeah. But, it's going to be a very interesting Monday night, though. I mean, I kind of like the way it's on Monday night, A lot of people can watch it.
I like it, too.
It's
for a Sunday night, though, I mean, because it's a Monday night's kind of a big night. It's usually like on work days, usually your most stressful day where you have a lot of work to do, so you really just want to go home and go rest. And yeah, you can rest to watch football, but when I want to watch football, I want to be ready to go. I haven't done that all day to day. I'm ready to go. It's been going on. So Sunday night, I believe, is the perfect night. I mean, Saturday really and truly, but if you want to stay to close Sunday night, it'd be a pretty good night. Although you don't have to wake up and go to work Monday morning. So.
Well, also, you have to, the reason why they put it on Monday night, they didn't want no competition from the NFL, which that makes perfect sense there. So I think it's right where it needs to be.
I mean, yeah, I think what I said, Saturday night should be it because Saturday night is when college football is normally played out. So why not have it on Saturday night so you can have all Sunday to rest, lay back, watch the NFL, and go to work Monday and all that, and just roll.
All right, Mike, give me your top two players from each team. Like your two players from each team that you're excited to watch.
Alright, so excuse me if I don't know two players from both teams because I don't really pay much attention. You can say it's all over the news and everything, but I don't necessarily watch it when it comes to that. I watch other stuff. Of course, I think I'm going to choose the most obvious ones for both teams. Clemson is just Deshaun Watson and Alabama, of course. Derrick Henry. I think, really and truly, this may sound like a cliche, but I really do think those are the two players that if either team's going to win, both those players will have to perform to their absolute best. Also Alabama, Jake Croker. I know he's not the best quarterback, but if he could perform just slightly better and take some of that load off of Derrick Henry, I think it might help Alabama's chances of winning it.
Yeah, that's
basically the only three players I know because like I said, I haven't really paid much attention to either one of the teams. So I've either been worried about either UL or school or work, whatever. So I've just really been sticking kind of just to the local.
Last time these two teams played was in 2008. Alabama defeated Clemson 34-10, and it really set the tone for the rest of both these programs here. From 2008, you've seen what Alabama's done, you've seen what Clemson's done. They both did very well in regards to what both these programs could have done. So, I mean, the stage has been set for both these teams here. Dabo Swinney's done a very good job this year, but we'll see what happens Monday night if they're able to pull off a perfect season.
I find it funny a lot of people are calling this a blowout game, although I don't think much people really thought about how and who's all playing in the game and everything about it.
Jake?
I don't think it's going to be as much of a blowout, and yes, I said that last week, of course, like I said earlier. But if you really would think about it, I don't think this game's going to be a blowout game like a lot of people are predicting it to be. I still do have a clear winner, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, it'll be a very good game. Jake Coker's been a pretty good quarterback for Alabama all this time. He's been completing 67% of his passes. He's only thrown 8 interceptions in the 13 games they've played so far. Do you think Jake Coker has to win the game for Alabama or just manage it?
He has to manage it. I mean, like I said, if you give it to Derrick Henry, I mean, there's a reason why the guy won the Heisman Trophy. Not because he's an average running back. It's because he is the running back. So, I mean, basically, what you got to do is you got to be able to establish the run. If you could get the run going and Jake Cook can complete a couple of his passes and keep him alive on third down with his passes and everything, I think it's going to help Alabama big time because I said, leaving it only to Derrick Henry, as you saw with like some teams like LSU where they basically relied on Leonard Fournette to come through and he just couldn't carry the whole team. So, in a national championship game, I really believe that Jake Coker got to really step up and kind of just manage the game for him, keep him in the game fairly. And just, like I said, leave it kind of to Derrick Henry to really get the game, like really give it to Alabama to win.
Yeah, I think the quarterback edge obviously goes to Clemson. Deshaun Watson was pretty good against Oklahoma's defense when they last played about a week ago. And
Deshaun Watson's just a great quarterback altogether.
He's a dual threat quarterback and he's able to do what he needs to do to get the job done.
You know what?
What?
That dual threat quarterback is the reason why I do not think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, Nick Saban
I heard the funniest thing the other day and it made me realize, wow, that is so true. Does anybody remember the name John Jefferson? You still may remember the name because it was recently, but he used to play for LSU as a quarterback. If you ask around Baton Rouge, nobody really likes him anymore. Nobody really cares for him. If I remember right, he's not really ever doing nothing with himself anymore because he's just he burned out, whatever. He was a dual-threat quarterback that beat Alabama, and he was garbage. All right? he was a bad quarterback, and he beat Alabama twice while playing at LSU. So could you imagine a quarterback like Deshaun Watson going up against the Alabama team? Think about that for a second. John Jefferson beat Alabama twice, and he was nowhere near as good as Deshaun Watson. So,
yeah, we could do this all day. Look, Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel. He's still better than John Jefferson, and he beat Alabama.
We could do this.
I mean, but look at Alabama's kryptonite. It's definitely dual threat quarterbacks. I mean,
Tim Tebow did it too.
They really think this year is Dak Prescott, but he's kind of morphed into a pocket passer a little bit. Yet he still does a lot, but I find him more as a pocket passer.
Well, with the thing with Prescott, he didn't have the talent around him this year to really do enough against Alabama. I didn't think they were going to win that game, but I thought that he might have given him something.
Cam Newton beat him, and I mean, of course, he was a fantastic quarterback.
But he's a dual threat too. He can run the ball if he needs to.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I really think this game will be a lot closer, because Alabama still cannot find a way to stop that. I mean,
but if there's a thing that I think Alex football teams need to do. Alabama has perfected their smash mouth type of offense. They perfected it.
They really never had a great quarterback to throw the ball.
Well, they had a decent enough quarterback. They didn't have a terrible quarterback like Jefferson. They had a decent enough quarterback to get the ball to the playmakers to where they perfected it. They perfected that type of football. The only way I think you can beat that kind of football is if you have a spread attack or an offense. They score quickly. That kind of offense takes time off the thing and they wear you out. They don't beat you in the first 30 minutes of the football game. They beat you in the last 30. In that fourth quarter, last 15 minutes is where you're tired and worn out. That's what the plan is for Alabama. Keep running it at them until they actually win. I mean, it's not the most stylish way to win a football game, but it gets the job done.
It gets the W on the board.
I mean, I guess you could say it's kind of boring, but it gets the job done.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not the best. But if it works, it works. And if it gets you national championship, it gets you national championship. Because, I mean, I can say I never got national championship playing football. A lot of coaches can say they never won a national championship. And, I mean...
Yeah, Clemson's running back, Wayne Gallman, he had a pretty good year himself, besides comparing him and Derrick Henry. He had 1,482 rushing yards this year and 12 touchdowns. But he's going up against the Alabama front seven that's pretty dang good. Ask Leonard Fournette about that.
I was about to say it's pretty darn good, Jack. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If Deshaun Watson can shake him up a little bit, maybe they can establish the run. Because you can have the option. You can play the option out on them, and the ball, it just blow Alabama's mind, because guess what? They really don't see much as an option.
But I think even if you try to run the option, I think there's too much... I don't think Clemson can better run the ball against Alabama. I don't see how they'll be able to match up.
I don't see it either, but if you can start establishing, if they could pass the ball enough, and then maybe open up that gap to where they can start running, and once they really start there, I don't think they'll ever stop. That's it, because you can always just run an option with them with Deshaun Watson, because you can run the ball.
Clemson's best asset in this football game isn't their offense, it's their defense. Their defense has to step up. And
that's the thing, though. Alabama's offense, I believe, is kind of slightly a little bit better than Clemson's defense. So
Clemson's defensive front is pretty good.
Oh
yeah. But I don't know if they'll be able to stop Derrick Henry. But I mean, you'll have to see what happens up front. If Alabama's offensive line gets a hold of the defense's front line, knocks them back really bad, then.
I mean, I know this is not really much of a comparison, but I mean, Clemson, if I'm not mistaken, faced Florida State and Dalvin Cook. And Dalvin Cook, he's not as good as Derrick Henry, but he's a pretty good running back. And I mean, they kind of just shut Florida State down.
Well, the difference between the two is whose offensive line do you think is better, Florida State's or Alabama's?